Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever's looking at this, I am back, baby. Ryan Jones Senior Show is here, and let me tell you something. You want raw thoughts? You're about to get them. Reason why is because you've been asking for raw thoughts. No matter the topic, no matter the subject, raw thoughts will be available, no matter what. And the Ryan Jones Senior Show, part of the Raw Mind Sports Network, Raw Mind Network, is ready, locked and loaded. I hope you get ready because we got some raw thoughts, some real raw thoughts that's gonna bring out some things for people. And I got my main man here, Carlos Parton. I hope you're ready to rock and roll.
Gratitude. I'm glad to be here.
My guy, and I'm gonna say gratitude too. And we got my main man, none other than the guy that's on line with us, Demetrius Foreman. And let me tell you something. I've been dealing with this guy for the past since 2018-19. And this is the first time I actually got him on the show. And this guy is a sports guy. When I say breaking down numbers, anything, any sports, whatever it is, you want to have a conversation about sports, he's the guy. So I'm honored to have him on the show because this guy knows his stuff. Demetrius, how you doing?
Hey, appreciate y'all for having me, man. I ain't had nothing to do. I'm glad you called me. Let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Raw thoughts, raw thoughts. Here we go. And let's get this party started. Is what my boy Corey would say. Let's talk about high school sports, right?
High school
And the
sports.
things that's going on. Let's talk about BAM! Nepotism. How do you feel about that, Los?
I really don't have too much to say on that, being that I am not from this area. But even though I am not from this area, I have noticed it a little bit. I'm not going to dive into not too deep into it because you guys grew up here, so you see it more than I do. So I'm gonna leave that for you guys. But just know nepotism is real out here. It's definitely real, and it definitely has a tendency to give people who deserve a chance, whether it be playing sports or coaching or anything that you do in life, has a ability to not let them have a chance to do what it is that they do. So I'm gonna pass that back off to you.
All right, the law, okay. Not the law, because I don't be dunking. But you can pass him in the corner on the wing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's knocked down. That's what my son say. And
Right.
what I always say, whoosh. So with that being said, Demetrius, I'm going to pass this to you first because before I pass it to you, I'm going to give a shout out to, the Raw Mind Sports Ryan Jones Senior Show has been doing, with Lyles Media Group producing, has done some phenomenal things. We've been doing a doc series with the Little Warriors of North Edgecombe. They was 10 years ago, 2012, with Miss the Powells, and all the players have been doing things. And now we got another episode coming up, a doc series with Jonah Williams, the North Edgecombe basketball coach that's going to be loaded. Let me tell you something. The conversations we had ain't been live, but it's raw thoughts. And I'm going to tell you now, you're going to want to tune in for that. But before that comes out, shout out to Andy Harden, defense coordinator of the Tarver High Vikings, who took on a huge position going back home. I'm coming home. So he's going back home to Indiana, where he's from. I don't know what school it is. The Bloomington. It's a Bloomington school, but I don't want to say nothing wrong. But all I know is he's a head coach. He's excited. His episode will be May 14th. Probably live in studio here with Lyles, and we lock and loaded because we want to hear his thoughts before he go. We can't let him just leave without talking to Mr. Ryan Jones Sr., Mr. Raw Thoughts. He got to give his raw thoughts. And why he left. So with that being said, give me your position on nepotism, Demetrius.
To me, it's more of I call it a gift and a curse.
Oh.
The thing is with that, who is it really for? Is it for the kid? Do he love the sport, or is it for the father? Everybody, so is the father living through the son?
Mm.
And it first and foremost, you look at it like I ain't saying no particular person, but I'm just saying like some kids go out there, man. Some of them don't be engaged in it because they get pushed too hard,
Mm-hmm.
and some parents like okay, you look at let's take this for example. I seen Michael Beasley say about Ja Morant daddy.
Whew.
He living a second child, a second childhood. How many guys are doing it?
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Like how
Right.
many doing it, or is that kid really like, Dad? Look, I'm trying to do something with this football thing,
Right.
and he come to Dad versus Dad say, look, oh, you a football player. Soon I find out you a boy. Which one is it? You get what I'm saying? Like as soon as a guy found he got a boy, he put a football in his hand. You
Now
put a
that's
basketball
tough.
in their hand.
And it's crazy because like I was looking at that whole like I be telling people like I don't look at a whole lot of podcasts. I know a whole lot of celebrities. All the
Yeah,
celebrities is being real raw thoughts have the huge podcast because of that network, their audience and the people they have, right?
yeah.
And I'm looking at this whole Michael Beasley episode that was 2 hours and some change.
That's my
I
favorite
never,
one.
I never, right, that's mine too. Like, I never looked at a podcast that long to realize that when you hear stuff and you hear it that raw, it makes you think. Even the part where he was saying something about, he ain't have a daddy figure. His mom was bringing all these guys around in the house, in and out. And when he finally talked to his dad was
Yeah,
trying to be around, but his mom didn't want him to be around. And he was like, I'm supposed to have my daddy. And it
right,
made him resent his mom until the point where he was trying to give grace and forgiveness to his mom, and that's when she passed away because he said she was lying about the cancer from stage 2 to stage 4. Like that stuff
right,
matters. Like dads want to be in be in their children's lives. Even stepfathers want to be in their children's lives.
Right.
It's just up to the parent and how they want to do it. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can say. It is what it
Now,
is. Raw thoughts.
now I got a raw thought on something you just said.
Oh oh oh.
Stepfather. Okay, stepfather been in the kid's life the whole time, and the dad pops up the last year. Who you think should walk with the kid like seeing like?
For me, morals and principles. I think both should do it so I'm gonna tell you this. So what you just said, it sounds like you're saying that the dad never been in the child's life, right?
Right.
And the stepfather's been in the child's life, right?
Yeah.
To keep drama and confusion down, just for the not to present a scene, I would say both. Although logically the stepfather should do it, but you don't want to present that drama because the dad does like pop up at graduation. Do you want to have to
Right.
fight this man? Do you want to keep the drama going? I'm just saying that level. That's we going raw thoughts. But I agree. I think the stepfather should do it all the way, but it's not our decision because at the end of the day, the mom made the baby raw thoughts, laid with
Right.
him,
But
and made.
that's
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
go
saying.
ahead.
But I'm saying you gonna try to. I have a dog. It's just a question. I'm just saying like
No, good, good.
you
Go ahead,
want
go ahead. It's raw thoughts, baby.
yeah, yeah. The stepfather was doing your role, but then he get the kid to a point where he you know what I'm saying, he did his thing in the sport, whatever sport he played, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's been like that for years, but I'm just saying like, okay, I don't mind you walking if I was a stepfather. For my thing it did, me and you should have been cool a long time before that. You get what I'm saying?
Right, and it's the
If I've
part.
been there
Well,
if I've been there that long,
and I agree.
you know what I'm
So
saying? As men, you know what I'm saying?
So I feel like, and I agree with you saying. My thing is maybe I'm saying it wrong. I might be saying it wrong, but hey, it ain't days raw thoughts. I like to make sure I communicate well. That's one thing about me. Communication matters for me. Two things here. Now, if it's one story, if the dad just went around it all and the mama didn't allow him to be around, kind of like the Michael Beasley story, but she
Yeah.
allowed him to be around and he just went around. That's
Yeah.
different.
Well, I want to touch
True.
on what you were saying earlier about the parents living through their child. I've
Yeah.
noticed that when I go to certain football games and basketball games in this area, there was a lot of great athletes in the past, and they didn't take advantage of the education or the athletics on the next level like they should have. So I've seen them with antics on the sideline and doing things on the sideline when it comes to their children playing the sports, which makes me feel, and this is on the outside looking in, that it pushes the player to not even love the sport. And because at the end of the day, you're supposed to love the sport. You're supposed to love what you're doing.
Right.
So parents has a tendency to push children to the point where they really don't want to play the sport anymore.
All right, so we got to get you out the way quickly. Raw thoughts. Culture philosophy, culture strategy. Demetrius, we got a couple of topics for you, and then we'll go to something else. We want to get these stories out quickly because we got you here because we have a short time period when we're trying to do this show. All right, so
Okay, I got you.
culture strategy, culture philosophy. How do you feel about it in this area?
So repeat that one more time with culture strategy. and
Culture
what?
strategy with times coaching philosophy. Do you feel like high school coaches, high school coaches, are like using the correct strategy with the kids? Because we live in a different area, right? A different era
Yeah.
to where like things are different from back then. So how do you feel about the involvement or evolving into that new philosophy.
Okay, I got you. What about okay? I look at it now versus back then. Almost now it seems like can these coaches coach if they don't have the superior athletes? You get what I'm saying?
Ho,
Can they
ho,
coach?
whoa,
Can they
whoa, raw
still
thoughts, raw thoughts, raw
build these
thoughts. Go
kids?
ahead, go ahead.
Like you might have some area that it don't matter who coaching them. If you got the athlete, you know what I'm saying? Like you got the athletes. You got. I mean, we can go out there coach a team right now and they go undefeated. You get what I'm saying?
True.
Right.
But can you go to an area where it's less athletic, but you got some kids that want to learn the game and they learned the long way? Or you gonna go trying to get the best athlete to fit your team? That's what it look like today. Like
And true,
if I can
true.
get these kids up here in Little League, I'm gonna make sure I get them to play with me in high school. That's what
Yeah,
it look like
right,
these
right, right. I'm glad you said it because I want to make sure I keep you on this 10-minute on time frame. Raw thoughts.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
raw
yeah,
thoughts.
yeah.
How you feel about it? Because you got 10 minutes with
Well, that's the thing where we've been doing the training every Monday, and I say that to the athletes: are you going to go join an AAU team that's stacked and take the chance of playing 2 to 3 minutes or not playing at all? Or are you going to go to the team that doesn't have great players and you learn how to play through adversity? Can you create for yourself? Can you create for another team? Can
Right.
you become a gem or a diamond in the rough? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna keep the book. Raw mind, raw thoughts. Here we go. This is what the Ryan Jones Senior Show is about. All raw, uncut. Take it how you want to take it. Raw thoughts. It is what it is. We live in a society in certain areas where this, I guess, for this area, you got to work in the school, be in the school system to be able to coach. It's a lot of areas, a lot of places in the country that if you got a good strategy, have a winning philosophy, and you have a good team or whatever, like they can hire you. Like it's different here. Like you don't have, not for me because I ain't trying to coach now. I like what I'm doing. What I'm doing right now, I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. So I ain't trying to do that. But what I'm saying is like you have really good coaches, and I've seen a lot of good coaches, guys who really have strategy, never been in trouble, never done anything wrong. But by the fact you ain't in the school system, and it makes it seem like this guy got to give up an engineer job that makes 6 figures to come coach, but we're gonna put you to like 40,000. Like that's not cool. So you have coaches, and that's why public schools, you have a certain thing that happens, and that's why just raw thoughts. I'm gonna go raw thoughts of this. That's why private schools can do what they want because they're allowed to do what they want because they can pick and choose on that level. I'm a big advocate for public schools myself, so I'm gonna let me be transparent and clear.
Yeah.
But that's the advantage of private school. We're gonna get this kid from here or this coach from here because he knows him blah 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 XYZ. But in public schools, you got to be able to be in the school system, work in the school system, find a job in the school system, to even have the job, to even be able to compete for the job. And a lot of times, man, just being transparent. A lot of coaches, raw thoughts, not me, because I'm not trying to be a coach, but I'm going to say what I got to say. And it is what it is. Take it how you want to take it, raw thoughts. That even the guys who don't even know how to coach, but they're in the school system, they'll send them off to coaching clinics and classes to learn stuff. Some people are natural instinct like levels, but then you have people that have to really learn the game and do it because they just fit the mold. But like that's really the real advantage of private schools, academies, and stuff like that. They get to handpick people who ain't working in school. I'm not saying that's for every state. I may be right or wrong. It's not for every county, but when it comes to those type of stipulations, it's different rubrics to the private school sector, academy sector, and the public school sector. So they get to handpick real deal coaches. I want to hold them up here because I don't want to keep them up here. Y'all got anything to say?
Well,
I've never real quick.
I've never really understood why you had to be in the school system to be a coach anyway, because most of your best coaches don't work in the school system.
Correct.
And also, my biggest thing in being an inspiring coach, my biggest thing is focusing on fundamentals. Being fundamentally sound, being able to do the same thing with your dominant hand that you do with your non-dominant hand. And I don't feel like fundamentals are being taught anymore because everything is being taught is ESPN highlight stuff.
I'm glad you said it. So, Jameis, I'm going to let you chime in on this. Raw mind, raw thoughts. One of the things, like I tell all the time, man, like just like NFL, NBA, MLB, like when you're done playing with your particular team or whatever contract, whatever you have on, you're you have to have a personal trainer, somebody to teach you. Those coaches in season are only focused on winning, strategy, X's and O's, what system, looking at the teams, how they're going to defend them. They may work on a couple of drills, you know what I'm saying, like during practice all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They maybe 30 minutes on the drill. But after that, that's it. But in the off season, it's your job, even though some coaches do volunteer and say, I want to practice and work on your footwork, all your fundamentals, stuff like that. But some coaches don't really have the time because of so many obligations that they have that they have to find a personal trainer to figure it out, even without a producer. You know, quarterbacks, guys who's coaching, like playing quarterback position, right? And their coach may not be able to work with them in the off season.
Right.
But he has a program, QB3 Academy, correct? That allows him to work with them one-on-one during the off season.
Right.
So when that coach get him back, like, oh my God, what is this kid? What did he learn? Because those guys have to learn. Right. So like, those are the things that every athlete on the professional level does. They have a particular professional trainer that does those little things that coaches in season don't have time for.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand. All right. So next topic. You got anything to say real quick, Mitch, on that, Foreman?
You covered everything because all I'm saying, you look at it, you feel like some teams just out athlete teams.
No, I mean some teams are. I say that. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes a coach can have a good strategy for his team. He just got better athletes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think about, well, oh boy, I'm going raw thoughts. Like I think about a team that's been dominant for years in the area, multiple state championships, and like no matter what, because the team is disciplined. I know like the team is just dominant, successful, and it's easy to, you know what I'm saying, put it on the scouting report. This what they do, this what they do, this what they do. Until you have to play against it, and you're like, how in the world we can't stop this? We've been working on this all season. Because it's the trenches, the line of scrimmage. It's everything that goes into it. And it's not easier, it's easier said than done, that's the words. But
well, to touch on that, is the team you're talking about, the team that I think you're talking about, do they move up from 1A to a bigger conference, or do they stay in 1A?
So, raw thoughts on that. So, I'm going to get you with that real quick. Long story short. Enrollment matters. It's not about your athleticism.
Right.
It's about enrollment at the school. So, whatever your enrollment is at the school is where you land in your classification to play sports. It's all about enrollment. Next topic. I know, Foreman, we were talking the other day, right? And you said it's crazy how many available jobs there are. Why do you think that there's so many available jobs?
I know it can't be paid because North Carolina don't make no money. Let's be real now, because go to Georgia, South Carolina.
Yeah, we in the bottom 10.
Yeah.
Now think about this. So I don't, but get back on topic. Some people probably get ran out. You know what I'm saying? Can't take the criticism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And some probably don't have enough kids. Like, you might have to be at a school that.
Back on real quick. We're gonna try to bring her back on. Real quick. Producer got there. So raw mind, raw thoughts. Some things happen. It is what it is. So back to that part.
So what was the topic again?
So available coaching jobs.
Available coaching jobs. Well, there are a lot of available coaching jobs, be it basketball or football. I really don't tap into the football too much around here besides Tarboro football. But you do question why is so many jobs open at this time frame, as well as basketball jobs. Me, I'm a basketball guru. That's all I know. I'm born and bred basketball. But what is it about this area that about every 2 to 3 years a job is available? And I don't understand what it is. And like I said, I've been in this area for 14 years, and I've applied for a few of these jobs myself. But back to what he was saying earlier about being a coach that has the strategy or the mindset to win, whether you have athletes or not. I'm the type of coach, I'll take the non-athletic team because most of the time they're the ones that are more coachable. most of these athletes that think they're better than what they are, is you have a tough time coaching them. I don't want to say any school names. Well, I want to so bad, but I don't want to say any school names. I would honestly, I would love to take a coaching job at NECP.
Oh,
Because if you can go back to their last 3 years, their basketball record has been terrible. Men and women.
so what? So raw thoughts. Since you said that, right? What can you do that's different from the other coaches?
Well, I
Just
mean,
raw mind, raw thoughts.
I mean, me personally, combining strategic, data-driven actions empowering individuals to unlock untapped potential, commitment to integrity, accountability, continuous learning, and being a trusted partner to your growth rather than an instructor. Definitely tap into emotional intelligence, man. What I notice about a lot of these kids in this area, they don't have any emotional intelligence. As soon as something is said to them that it doesn't process, they catch an attitude and they ready to fight. Like I was telling you the other day, I had to almost stop a fight at the recreation center.
Yeah.
Because a guy was, let's just say, guy was cooking the other guy, and he was talking junk while he was cooking him, and the guy was like, "Man, you ain't gonna keep talking to me like that. We can go outside and fight." I'm like, for what? If the guy is cooking you, you want to waste your energy to go beat him up outside when you can use that energy to go put the ball in the bucket and shut him up. What better way to shut somebody up than go put the ball in the bucket and beat him?
right.
I told him, okay, if you're playing in a game and the guy's frying you and he's scoring on you, telling you weak, you gonna tell him before halftime, "Hey, go meet me outside, meet me in the locker room." Come on, I mean, if I'm coaching you, you know where you're gonna have a play set, right? Either off the team or at the end of the bench.
Back in the day, shout out to my man Gaston. Click up, click up, click up.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say. So now we can talk about before we go there. Since you talking, you were talking about coaching, what you do.
Right.
You could coach at North Carolina Eastern Prep. Talk about 5QD and what's the reason why you wanted to do 5QD and be a trainer.
Well, the biggest thing is not about me. It's about the kids. And what I notice is there are a lot of kids in this area that come from unfortunate circumstances. Everybody's child or everybody's parent or parents can afford to send them to Greenville or Rocky Mount to do a $35, $50, $75 training session. So for the past 3 months, we've been doing training sessions for free. And the main thing we focus on is fundamentals. And like I said earlier, being able to do the same thing with your non-dominant hand that you can do with your dominant hand. And you'll be surprised. Like we got to the point we have 12 to 15 kids showing up every Monday. And the first month, majority of these kids they were dominant right hand. They couldn't even do a left hand layup.
I agree.
They couldn't. I mean, when you do a right hand layup, you're supposed to jump off your left foot. They go up and do a left hand layup. They're jumping off the wrong foot. They couldn't get the ball to the white square on the backboard. I'm sorry, are y'all serious right now? And most of you guys are 12, 13, and 14. This is something. This is stuff you learn as peewees. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I definitely wanted to implement fundamentals. And when you try to get someone to do something that they're not used to doing, you start seeing attitudes. You start seeing players getting upset, slamming the ball, kicking, and all of that. And I try to get these guys to channel that energy. When you make that mistake, go out there and do it again. Instead of kicking the ball down the court, take that energy, go up there and do it again.
With that being said, now you said a mouthful. I ain't got to go on that because that's what it's about. 5QD is all about that. And also the part he didn't say, like, it's a lot of kids that we're taking on. He's taking on. I'm a part of the backroom work, like, that are guys that in front of the camera right now, raw mind, raw thoughts. We're taking on players, and I like to say as a team, because it's a team that coaches don't even want to even put on their team, meaning they're getting cut, meaning they don't have the ability. They're not wasting their time with them. What we're doing in this program is taking. I'm sorry, wrong camera, raw mind, raw thoughts. We're taking kids who coaches don't even want to waste their time on, developing them.
Right.
And by the time they go to the next trial, they're saying, "What in the world? Who is this kid been working with?"
Right.
We're working with those. Like, it's a lot of kids that are really good, extremely good, have a lot of skills that most trainers, just raw thoughts, want to deal with. Most trainers don't want to deal with the kids who they feel like don't have no hope. We're taking on the hope from all levels, education, emotional health, things like that. We're taking on kids that they're not going to waste their time on, because in practice, again, like I said earlier in the show, that these kids, the kids that they want to deal with, they may put a drill or two in, but during the season, they focus on game, strategy, philosophy, how we gonna beat this team, individuals, how we gonna
Right.
play around it. We're taking on kids who, or back in the day in recreation ball, or the fifth quarter,
Right.
kids who don't get playing time, kids who people don't want to work on,
Right.
kids who get cut. We're focusing on developing them, turning them, giving them an opportunity that they only get a chance to have.
Right.
You about to say something? Can you take this?
Well,
Right. You about to say it.
Well, I was born and raised in Raleigh, so when we played recreation, all the fundamentals was taught in recreation. I don't feel like fundamentals is being taught in recreation anymore. It's all about finding, let me get this player, let me get this. Oh, he played JV here. Let me get this player, see we can make a stacked recreation team and win the championship. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's about improving. Also, putting the same energy into these kids on the court, on the field, on the baseball diamond, on the
All
volleyball
sports,
court.
5QD, by the way. I'm
All
glad you said
sports.
it. It's not just basketball. It's
Yes.
soccer, football, baseball, whatever it
Volleyball.
is. We have particular trainers for every individual
Everything.
sport.
And the main thing is we focus on conditioning, strength building, and your skills. But most of the skills is fundamentals because they say when all else fails, what do you rely on? Your
Fundamentals.
Your fundamentals. Like I
Fundamentals.
say, I always say, and you guys hear me say this all the time, everybody wants to be LeBron James and Steph Curry, but nobody wants to be Tim Duncan. And how many Tim Duncan got? He got 4 of them.
4. I had to make sure I
He
said
got
it
4
wrong.
of 'em.
So yeah, because and Tim Duncan's still cruising and chilling. With that being said, before we go, because we want to make this, go ahead and wrap this show up.
Right.
Raw mind, raw thoughts. We got other things to do tonight. Just raw thoughts. It is what it is. Yeah, if you could, yeah. So by the way, we may bring in Foreman back in real quick. He'll be able to come on this part. Hold on a quick say it's raw mind, raw thoughts.
Well, I mean, while we're waiting for him to get back on, I'm going to touch base on a few things. Being a trainer, a lot of these trainers are getting paid to train. And let's just be real. These trainers are going to train regardless whether your kid has the potential to be good or not. They're going to keep training them regardless because you're paying them. We're doing this for free right now. Will it be free forever? I don't know. That's in the future, and we'll talk about that later on. But right now, we've been doing it for free for the last 3 months because it's not about us. It's not about the money. It's about tapping into untapped potential with these kids who come from unfortunate situations. So with that being said, these are some of the things that we talk about. We always have a pregame speech and a postgame speech after the trainings. We talk about the importance of game-like decision-making, high-intensity repetition over volume, and the main thing is mental fortitude. And a lot of this stuff that we're learning as we're training athletes, we're also teaching them to translate it in life because you're putting that same effort in on the court, the football field, the diamond, the volleyball court. You got to put that same effort in the classroom because all I always say, Prime, you're student athlete first. If you look in the dictionary, academics comes before athletics. And I want to make sure that we are pushing these kids to be student athletes first because let's just be real. Everybody's not going to make it to the NBA, the MLB, the NHL. Everybody's not going to make it. So they have to have something to fall back on.
No doubt, no doubt. Hold on a quick second. We're going to take this show off the road, all right? Here we go. When the raw mind, raw thoughts. I'm going to give this flow to you. Bam! Live. Dunk. Hater blackballing.
Hater and blackballing. Wow. I can't speak too much on blackballing because I haven't put myself in those rooms yet, but there's definitely a lot of hate. And it's not just this area. It's going to be hate wherever you go, especially when you're doing something positive, and especially when you're taking on a lot of kids and you're doing something for free to take away from other people that's charging to do things. But like I always say, it ain't about us. It's not about us as coaches and trainers. It's about these children, giving them an outlet so they're not out here in the streets doing other things, unproductive things. Mm-hmm. In this area, there's not a lot to do in this area but play sports. So why not intrigue them to come to a free training where they can build their strength, their conditioning, and their skills in the sport they love? Right now, we've been focusing on basketball, but when you come to the conditioning and strength building, it's going to translate to football, volleyball, baseball, soccer as well. And I have two daughters. One plays volleyball. She's just got invited to a collegiate camp this summer. And I have a young daughter who plays, she just started playing basketball. She's played one of the top players in the third grade at soccer, one of the tallest, one of the fastest. So, I coach her recreation team right now. We're undefeated. But I love to see things like this. And the biggest thing is I got a text the other day from one of our guys that we're training in basketball, and he said he appreciates everything I'm doing because the last 3 months he's seen the improvement in his game. Now he's going to these other recreation centers during free play. He's playing players just as good as him, or if not better, older than him, and he can score. He can create. Before, all he could do was shoot. He didn't have the handles. Now he can create. He can create for himself to shoot. He can create to give the assist and create for somebody else. And that's what it's all about. Like, I got a text 7:21 in the morning. I think I sent it to you, and I was like, "Well, we doing something right."
No doubt, definitely. So we're gonna end this the topic. We're gonna make this a real short topic, real quick, and end this show. Raw mind, raw thoughts. Let's talk about the NBA playoff flopping and
Ooh,
the referee will.
Lord
So how do you
have
feel
mercy.
about that? Go ahead with that.
Well, I made a post on Facebook before the OKC and LA Lakers series started, and I put LA Lakers versus OKC, LeBron versus SGA. Who's going to flop the most? And lo and behold, OKC has been flopping the whole series so far.
Not the defending champs.
Man, I have been terrible. You're in the NBA. You're supposed to be the best of the best. And you're out here flying. There should be a technical foul call when they do these reviews and they see these players, NBA players now, supposed to be the best of the best, flopping. There is no room in the NBA for that.
So I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Keep it short. Raw mind, raw thoughts, because we gotta get off the show. OKC won a championship with a team that should have won a championship before with OKC. Who would you take? Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, or this team right here?
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
Raw thoughts. That's what it's about. It ain't about you thinking. It's about putting you on the spot, baby. What you thought?
I would take this team that they have right now only because they have better big men. Now you look at their other team. They had Ibaka, who wasn't bad, but Ibaka was scared of the paint. He was always shooting jump shots. Then you had Kendrick Perkins.
Oh, so you're a big man guy. So
Yeah, I love the big
So
man.
you don't believe in the new age of big men. Like the
mean,
big man now, they stretch, they fulls, they put the ball on the floor. It sounds like me like the big man you got now. Well, name it. Go ahead.
Well, my thing
back to
is,
the basket
there's
type
nothing wrong with a stretch big man, but okay, for instance, New York Knicks, Cap. Get off of the 3-point line. You shouldn't be shooting 5, 6, 7 threes a game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 or 3. Maybe if it's in transition. But you shouldn't be catching the ball and your main guy is helping create for other people. You need to be in the paint because really can't nobody stop Cat. Now he's playing Embiid. Embiid's the same way.
And Embiid got smart. 'Cause apparently, Embiid been playing down low lately more so than
Right.
stretching out. Before one thing about Embiid, one thing you always count on. If you're a betting fan, I'm gonna tell you now. Raw mind, raw thoughts. Sad truth. We can count on Embiid being on the shelf.
Well, but
We gonna go with that.
you also can see that if you look at the last 2 series, Embiid's been doing a lot of flopping too. He's been doing a lot of flopping.
The flopping done got him hurt.
Flopping gets him hurt, but also catching the ball out there, the 3-point line gets him hurt. Not being in the paint.
Oh man.
Yeah.
With that being said, we're gonna be done with this now. Look, this the Ryan Jones Senior Show.
Yeah.
Coming with the raw mind, raw thoughts. You never know what topic we're gonna talk about. It may be sports, whatever. It's mainly sports, but don't get it twisted. We may get off topic sometimes, and we're gonna ground that topic to kind of give some people some help, or whatever it is. So with that being said, you already know what time it is. Carlos, you got anything to say before we get off?
Kids, make sure that when you're playing these sports, you're showing up to training, you're showing up to these tryouts. Give maximum effort. And the biggest thing I talked about in the last training is most of these coaches, you don't have to be raw athletically, but communicate. I can guarantee if you get out there, you talk, you communicate, you call out the screens, you yelling ball, 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 ball when you're guarding the man with the ball, box out by all of that stuff. If you communicate, you have a spot on the team, whether it's the 6th man or whether it's the 12th man, because all the coach want to see is leadership and communication.
Well, that's all we got. Ryan Jones Senior Show coming at you live. Don't get it twisted. This gonna be consistent. This gonna be mostly weekly. I'm back, baby. and I ain't doing like James Brown. Get up off that thing. No, it's over, baby. It's already Raw Mind, Raw Thoughts. Ryan Jones Senior Show is out.